Hi there and welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. I have the wonderful opportunity of connecting with a great certified postural neurologist, Dr. Janine Crifasi. And Dr. Janine has volunteered to share her experience with postural neurology with us today. I know you guys are going to love this story. She's going to talk about, how she was having some struggles in practice and how she's been able to overcome that and how postural neurology has helped her with that. So Dr. Janine, first of all, can you say hi to everybody and tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Well, I'm very excited about working with this particular program. I've been in practice for about 22 years now, and always with the premise of the vitalistic principle, but knowing that there's a mechanistic component. And, I was fortunate enough to go to Life West. We had a lot of the greats, almost all the greats have worked there. And, unfortunately going through school, you don't really appreciate a lot of it. But, I am somebody that truly understands how the brain controls everything. And I've got the giant safety pin in my office. And, in the evolution of practice and seeing how certain things just always seem to plateau with patients, it allowed me the opportunity to go, all right, what else is out there? What else can I find? And I've looked into other programs, and you always get something from everything. But I have to say that the way I came across your program, ironically, was through Dr. Jason Deitch, who I knew from Life West.
Nice. Yeah.
And through his Amplified program.
Yeah, we love Amplified.
Yes, we do. And long story short is I connected, and you guys have made the very complicated world of neurology so very simple in its ability to create that application.
Wonderful.
To everyday practice for us. And I'm so excited about it. I get so juiced about it. My patients are getting juiced about it, which makes getting up and going to work even more exciting, as you know.
Absolutely.
So, for me, it's just about taking those pieces that you kind of knew something about, or you knew something about the gait wasn't quite right. Yeah, I noticed the arm isn't swinging right. Well, now we can go back and very systematically approach that. And your particular style of teaching, Dr. Krista, I really have to appreciate you go through and you reiterate in different ways, and you bring it back around before you even realize it. You're like, oh, wait a minute, I knew that answer. So you just make the very complex very simple. And I love that you're so out there. And, of course, when you and Dr. Wade are sitting there and you're going through it, showing us not only what it looks like normal is, here's a hypothetical of what you might see with somebody. And then don't be fooled by, thus and such. You really make it so simple for us and make it even more easy to apply day to day. It's not like you have to complete everything and then go back and go, all right, what was that again? No, it's module by module. You're gaining and growing. So
I love hearing that. That was the precise intention, is we wanted to make those connections that we felt were missing in school, from the beginning when you learn all the neurology and then you start seeing patients, and there was a lot of bridges that weren't connected. So with the postural neurology program, we want to make it 100% applicable to modern day patients, the patients walking into practice every day, and of course make it so that it's easily understood so that we can implement it, because if not, it can get intimidating to work with neurology. So tell me, so you have a history with neurology courses. Tell me about your experience, and then if you had any skepticism going into postural neurology and how that changed your perception.
Well, for me, neurology, like I said, has always been in the forefront of my thirst for knowledge and my ability to communicate it with patients. I have been fortunate enough to work in the brain balance family, which is, functional neurology. I have taken, many classes with Dr. Robert Melillo. I have taken some of the other functional neurology classes, and everything plays a part. Some of the other programs that are out there really are designed for people that are in a different realm than where I wanted my particular practice to go. I enjoy working with children, which is great, but I also need to be, I'm somebody, I want to adjust these people. I want to give them some homework to do. I want everybody to be proactive. I want them to get the results. So I've taken a lot of classes. I've gone, I was a little hesitant because some of the courses, just for what I was looking for, were so much more than what I wanted. And it's great information, of course, but it wasn't applicable to my everyday desire in practice and what I wanted, from my patients. So your class almost seemed too good to be true when I first looked into it. And, my particular practice is very integrated. I will implement massage, nutrition, as well as the neurology principles and exercise. It was a little humbling when I realized, even after all these years in practice, it's like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have been doing quite those exercises, but now I know. And that's the part that's
the important thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's just, again, it's so simple, so easy to apply. It makes you go back and really reiterate where you were with patients and where I am with patients, and then bringing them that much further and giving them a long-term game plan and a better understanding. And I'm finding for myself, compared to other things in my past, is I'm able to communicate to them that they're like, okay, wait, is it really this simple? So my son has, or somebody on my rowing team has this. Do you think you can, and now I know you can help these people. So it's really helping in the referral process, which of course is really good.
Yeah, good. So you were just mentioning with referrals, which we appreciate. How else has postural neurology impacted your practice? Because I know that you were in a previous practice, and I believe you've just opened a new one. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Certainly. I was working in a practice, which was a great practice, phenomenal doctor. The practice was geared more towards concussions and rehabilitation and that, which is great. That's just not where I wanted the emphasis of my practice to be. Got a lot of great knowledge. But for myself, not having that every day, okay, a patient's coming in and we've got a biomechanical change here, or, why do they always have that same pain right in their lower back? Or how come when they're standing up, it's always got that hitch? I've gone back, literally after doing several of the modules and going, okay, let me look at this differently. And, by the next visit, they're like, you know what? I feel like I'm walking differently. I literally had a patient night before last walks in. She goes, I might be thinking this is in my mind, but I feel like I'm walking differently. I feel like I'm standing up. And she said that her mother, who is at home with her, is starting to watch how she's doing things. And she's starting to do things a little differently. She wants to get, and her mom's elderly. So it's that 100th monkey effect where when something's really good, people want to go further with it. So getting back to the skepticism, anybody who has any skepticism about this, you can implement this from the second you start watching it. It starts linking those synapses that you're like, I felt like in school, I heard about the spinal cerebellar tract, and you're like, you own it. And then you've got the ability to go back and review something that you may not have gotten on these videos. Rather than sitting in a seminar, writing feverishly or trying to find it in the notes, you've got that ability to go back and review it and say, okay, wait a minute. Am I doing this right? Am I not? So for me, again, average practitioner looking to make a difference in the world, as one of my mantras that Gandhi said is, I want to be the change that I want to see in the world. And I want to do it with, particular demographics, but especially for children, women, athletes, not a particular isolated demographic for me. So having all these different tools in my toolbox is just phenomenal. It's something that I laughed that after almost a quarter century in practice, I didn't quite have them, but I'm so glad that I do now. And I'm so grateful that, you guys have taken the time and the efforts. Every time I flip on the computer, it seems that you're flying somewhere else to spread the word. Like I said to you, is I'm happy to help in any way because it has given me a different level of certitude personally. It's given me more confidence. I have a local healthcare facility, traditional healthcare, that, they're starting to get the feedback. So they're coming up to me. I'm getting a lot more professional referrals as well as the direct referrals from patients. So again, thank you so much.
Yeah. You know what, Dr. Janine, the reason we do this is because of success stories just like yours. When we receive messages from people, and it just creates such a huge level of motivation for Dr. Mark and myself to keep putting out more information and keep spreading the message about postural neurology, because it really puts the science behind what we do. And having that evidence-based approach really does create that certainty, like you just mentioned, a higher level of certainty to not only help our patients, but also to make those connections within the community to open doors for referrals, but also to open doors among other integrated healthcare professionals as well. Yeah. So just in closing, what has been your favorite thing about neurology going from struggle in practice, turning it all the way around to thriving in practice?
Again, it's that ability to communicate even more effectively, as well as to get the results, is to have the information inside and to know it. And again, having taken classes and worked in the neurology realm for many years, it's helpful. It's great. I knew I had it, but now I can very simplistically share that with people and say, you know what, let's backtrack. Let me show you where this is coming from. And being able to go, okay, this is where you're at. This is where we know we can get you. And it's not a lifelong commitment. It's not that you're going to have to be here forever. These are quick, effective results with quick changes, but that have absolutely long-lasting effects for people. And that gets me excited. It gets them excited. And it's helping the other community because, as you know, like you were saying, is the integrative health field is we've got medical doctors that are really watching what we're doing. And having a chiropractic degree isn't judged as much. And to be able to say, okay, I am a chiropractor and here's this other information that I know let's work together. Let's help these patients. It has been phenomenal. Yes.
Wonderful. Well, Dr. Janine, thank you for taking the time this morning. I know you have a practice full of patients waiting for you today. So thank you for taking the time to connect with us live on Facebook. Thank you for sharing your experience with postural neurology. Thank you for your recommendation on behalf of other students who are, considering joining postural neurology. And thank you for everything you do every day in practice. You really are the change that we want to see in the world. You're the reason that we put together these programs. So thank you again for being such an on-point practitioner. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, Dr. Kristen.
Have a great day.
You too.